In the dazzling world of luxury and power, Jack Morrison seemed to have everything: wealth, success, and a mansion that spoke of opulence. But beneath the surface, he was missing something priceless: true love. Driven by a desire to find a genuine connection, Jack devises a bold plan to vanish from his glamorous life and live anonymously in a small town, posing as Jake Miller, a humble mechanic. His quest for authenticity leads him to Oak Ridge, where he meets Emma Thompson, a woman who captures his heart like never before. But just as their love blossoms under the tranquil skies, Jack's past threatens to unravel their happiness. With a best friend tempted by greed and secrets that could destroy everything, Jack must confront his fears and decide if honesty will be the key to winning Emma's heart, or if it will tear them apart forever. If you are not subscribed, I recommend you subscribe and activate the bell so you don't miss any videos. Before we dive into this story, please let me know in the comments where you're watching from. In a dramatic twist of fate, the billionaire Jack Morrison decided to conceal his immense fortune for an entire year, driven by an intense desire to test the sincerity of his girlfriend. Little did he realize, the revelation of her true family would be nothing short of astonishing. The thunderous roar of a Lamborghini Aventador reverberated through the vibrant streets of the city, painting a picture of both opulence and solitude. Jack, a strikingly handsome 35-year-old with an aura of both allure and sorrow, expertly navigated through the congested traffic. His visage was a mosaic of resolve and wistfulness, betraying a deeper turmoil beneath his polished exterior. From the outside, it seemed he possessed everything one could dream of: boundless wealth, thriving enterprises across the globe, and a mansion that could rival the grandest palaces. Yet, there was a profound void in his life, something beyond the reach of even his staggering fortune: the elusive treasure of genuine, unadulterated love. As Jack's Lamborghini came to a halt before the imposing edifice of his corporate stronghold, he disembarked and proceeded to the private elevator, which whisked him up to the zenith of the towering skyscraper. His mind was awash with turbulent thoughts. How many times had he been duped by women seeking nothing more than his riches? How many superficial relationships had he endured, each one a painful reminder of his isolation? The overwhelming weight of loneliness pressed upon him, fueling his resolve to alter his destiny. Upon arriving at his office, his dedicated assistant Sarah greeted him with a warm, reassuring smile. "Good morning, Mr. Morrison. You have a video conference scheduled with the Tokyo investors in 15 minutes. Jack's distracted nod was barely perceptible. "Thank you, Sarah. However, before that, I need you to organize an urgent meeting with the executive team. I have a crucial announcement to make." Taken aback by the gravity in his voice, Sarah swiftly complied with his request. Within the hour, the boardroom was filled with a sea of eager, apprehensive faces. Jack strode in with purposeful steps, taking his position at the head of the table. His intense gaze swept over the assembled executives, each one acutely aware that something monumental was about to unfold. "Ladies and gentlemen, I have reached a decision that will alter the trajectory of our lives. I have resolved to vanish from the public eye." A collective gasp of astonishment filled the room. Jack raised a hand to quell the rising murmur. "This isn't what you think. I am not abandoning the company or divesting my shares. Instead, I plan to retreat from the public eye for a time. I need to embark on a journey of self-discovery, to live a life stripped of fame and gossip." The silence that followed was palpable, a thick cloak of uncertainty enveloping the room. Finally, his vice president, Michael Carter, mustered the courage to speak. "But Jack, how do you intend to accomplish this? You are one of the most renowned figures in the country." A mysterious smile played on Jack's lips. "I have devised a plan. For the next year, I will assume a false identity and reside in a quaint, unassuming town. I will work as a mechanic, experiencing life through an entirely different lens. Meanwhile, you will oversee the company's operations and ensure its stability." The room erupted into a cacophony of voices, each executive grappling with the gravity of Jack's revelation. He addressed each question with measured patience, meticulously outlining the details of his plan. By the meeting's end, everyone had pledged their loyalty to the secret, and committed to supporting Jack's extraordinary endeavor. That evening, as Jack meticulously packed a modest suitcase with unpretentious garments, he received a call from his dearest friend, Tom Sanders. "Are you certain about this, Jack? It sounds utterly insane." Jack exhaled deeply, the weight of his decision settling heavily upon him. "It's the only path left for me, Tom. I need to discover if someone can love me for my true self, not for my wealth." A moment of contemplative silence passed before Tom's voice came through, resolute and supportive. "All right, my friend. You can count on me for anything you need." "Thank you, Tom. I need a significant favor. I need you to be my eyes and ears while I'm away, and most importantly, to keep my secret safe." "Consider it done," Tom assured him firmly. The next morning, as the first light of dawn crept over the horizon, Jack Morrison slipped behind the wheel of an old Chevy he had purchased secondhand. His heart pounded with a mixture of anxiety and exhilaration as he ventured into the unknown, leaving behind a life of grandeur and ease. As the sun ascended, casting a warm glow over the landscape, Jack couldn't help but feel a profound sense of liberation. For the first time in years, he felt truly free from societal expectations, free from the facade of wealth, and free to rediscover himself in the most authentic way possible. What Jake Miller didn't anticipate was that his quest for a new beginning would lead him through a labyrinth of trials, disappointments, and perhaps, if he was fortunate, the profound love he had always yearned for. The idyllic small town of Oak Ridge, with its postcard-perfect charm, welcomed him with open arms. It boasted picturesque homes with meticulously maintained gardens, a central square adorned with a century-old fountain, and tranquil streets where every face was familiar. Here, amidst the rustic beauty, Jack, now living as Jake Miller, embarked on his fresh start. His extensive business acumen and natural proficiency with numbers made it effortless for him to secure a position as an assistant at the town's local mechanic shop. The shop's owner, Bill, an elderly gentleman with a gentle demeanor, was immediately struck by Jake's dedication and zeal. "You've got a knack for this, kid," Bill remarked one sweltering afternoon as Jake wiped the sweat and grease from his brow. "Keep at it, and you might just become the best mechanic Oak Ridge has ever seen." A deep sense of contentment filled Jake, a feeling he had never experienced amidst the cold opulence of his former life. Each small triumph here felt authentic, a testament to his genuine effort. It was during his third month in Oak Ridge, as he was closing up shop, that fate intervened in the form of a distressing sight. An old pickup truck sputtered to a halt before him, smoke billowing ominously from beneath the hood. A woman emerged from the vehicle, and Jake felt an instant jolt of awe. Her brown hair pulled back into a messy ponytail framed a face that radiated a kind of raw, unpretentious beauty. Her green eyes, though filled with exasperation, sparkled with an undeniable strength. Clad in faded jeans and a plaid shirt, she appeared both resilient and captivating. "Excuse me," she said, her voice tinged with a hint of desperation. "I know you're closing up, but my truck decided to break down right here. Is there any chance you could?" "Absolutely," Jake interjected, his gaze fixed on her with an intensity that betrayed his intrigue. "Let's see what we can do." As he delved into the intricacies of the truck's engine, he learned that her name was Emma Thompson. She was the new elementary school teacher in town, having moved from the city in search of a fresh start after a heartbreaking romance. "Sometimes, it feels like true love is just a fairy tale," Emma mused with a wistful smile as she watched Jake work. Jake looked up, an unexpected connection sparking between them. "Perhaps we just need to believe in it a bit more," he responded, the unexpected optimism in his voice surprising even himself. That night, after repairing Emma's truck, Jake lay awake, unable to shake the vivid images of her green eyes and a warm smile from his mind. For the first time since his arrival in Oak Ridge, he felt a glimmer of hope. Maybe, just maybe, he had found a reason to stay. In the following days, Jake found himself concocting excuses to visit the school, whether to check on Emma's vehicle or simply to exchange pleasantries. Each interaction set his heart racing with exhilaration. Emma, on her part, was intrigued by this mechanic with compassionate eyes and capable hands. There was something about him, a depth and intellect that seemed oddly out of place in a small-town garage. Their first real connection happened during a local fair, bathed in the soft glow of colored lights and the sweet aroma of cotton candy. Jake seized the moment and invited Emma for a stroll. "You know," she said as they wandered, "when I first came here, I thought it would be dull. But now, I don't know, something is enchanting about this town." Jake gazed at her, his heart swelling with emotion. Maybe the enchantment isn't in the town itself, but in the people we meet there. If you're still tuned into this video and find the story inspiring, drop a 1 in the comments to let me know you're still with me. Their eyes locked, and for a brief, magical moment, the world around them seemed to dissolve. Drawn together by an invisible force, their lips met in a tender, gentle kiss. When they finally parted, both felt a profound shift. A spark of attraction had ignited into a flame of love with the potential to grow into something truly extraordinary. Yet, as Jake allowed himself to revel in the euphoria of this newfound romance, a shadow of doubt lingered in his mind. The voice of his true identity and the underlying purpose of his stay in Oakridge nagged at him. Could Emma truly love him if she discovered his real self, or was he destined to repeat the mistakes of his past? The bliss of the moment mingled with a tinge of apprehension. Jake understood that he would have to confront the truth sooner or later. But for now, he chose to savor the profound joy of holding Emma in his arms beneath the star-drenched sky of Oakridge. As Jake and Emma's romance flourished in the charming enclave of Oakridge, a tumultuous storm brewed far away in the teeming metropolis. Tom Sanders, Jack Morrison's closest friend and confidant, found himself grappling with an ethical dilemma. His loyalty had been pledged to keep Jack's secret and safeguard his interests, yet as the months ticked by, the lure of exploiting this situation for his gain became increasingly irresistible. Though their friendship had always been sincere, Tom couldn't ignore the pangs of envy that gnawed at him each time he witnessed Jack's immense success and opulence. With Jack out of the picture, Tom saw a landscape of opportunity stretching before him like a tantalizing horizon. One fateful afternoon, as Tom rifled through documents in Jack's opulent office, he stumbled upon something that would alter the trajectory of events. Among the scattered papers lay an old photograph featuring Emma Thompson at a charity gala. The note scribbled on the back revealed a startling detail. Emma was the daughter of a once prominent businessman who had suffered a dramatic fall from grace years ago. Well, Tom murmured with a smirk that radiated malevolence. It seems our dear Jack isn't the only one harboring secrets. Meanwhile, in Oakridge, Jake and Emma were reveling in the serene beauty of their burgeoning love. They spent blissful afternoons wandering through the town, savoring ice cream in the town square, or simply engaging in heartfelt conversations on the porch of the modest home Jake had rented. "You know," Emma said one starry night as they gazed up at the twinkling heavens, "I never imagined I would find such tranquility in a place like this. With you, I feel as though I can truly be myself." Jake's heart raced at her words. He yearned to reveal the truth about his identity, to disclose who he was, but the dread of losing her kept him silent. "I feel the same way," he responded softly, enveloping her in a warm embrace. Yet, their cocoon of happiness was on the brink of unraveling. Driven by a mix of avarice and jealousy, Tom decided to make an unannounced visit to Oakridge. He arrived on a Saturday morning, dressed in an expensive suit that starkly contrasted with the town's laid-back vibe. He found Jake in the shop, engrossed in repairing an old Ford. "Jack, my old friend," Tom greeted with a deliberate use of Jake's real name, causing Jake to visibly stiffen. His eyes darted around, ensuring no one else had overheard. "Tom, what on earth are you doing here?" Jake whispered urgently, guiding his friend to a secluded corner. "Oh, just passing through to check on my favorite billionaire," Tom replied with a smile that failed to reach his eyes. "And I must say, you look quite different." Jake's expression darkened with unease. "Tom, I appreciate your visit, but you can't just show up like this. I'm trying to keep a low profile." Tom raised his hands in a feigned gesture of innocence. I understand. I merely wanted to ensure you were doing well. And, of course, congratulate you on your new romance." Emma Thompson, if I'm not mistaken? A lovely woman. The blood drained from Jake's face. How do you know about her? I have my sources, Tom replied with a knowing wink. But don't worry, your secret is safe with me. Although I wonder if she guards hers with the same vigilance. Before Jake could press for further details, Tom bid farewell with a promise to return soon. As Jake watched him depart, a wave of apprehension washed over him. What did Tom know about Emma, and what were his intentions with this newfound knowledge? That evening, as Jake and Emma dined at a cozy local restaurant, Jake's mind was clouded with worry and distraction. Emma, sensing his disquiet, reached out and took his hand. Is everything all right, Jake? You seem troubled. Jake looked at her, his eyes a tempest of conflicting emotions. After a moment of internal struggle, he decided to be partially honest. Emma, there's something I need to tell you, he began, his voice barely above a whisper. My past. It's complicated. There are things about me that you don't know, and I'm afraid they might change how you feel about me. Emma squeezed his hand reassuringly, her green eyes filled with empathy. Jake, everyone has a past. What matters to me is who you are now, the man I've fallen in love with. Her comforting words, though soothing, only deepened Jake's guilt. The fear of losing her overwhelmed him, and he struggled to find the courage to reveal everything. Instead, he shifted the conversation. Thank you for understanding, he said with a strained smile. How about we plan a picnic by the lake this weekend? Emma agreed, though a shadow of concern flickered across her face. She sensed that Jake was concealing something significant, and it troubled her deeply. As Jake and Emma's love blossomed under the tranquil skies of Oak Ridge, a storm brewed in the bustling city far away. Tom Sanders, Jack Morrison's best friend, was caught in a moral quandary. With Jack out of the picture, Tom saw an opportunity to exploit the situation for his gain. Though their friendship had always been genuine, Tom could not ignore the envy that simmered within him. Jack's success and wealth had always cast a shadow over Tom, and now, with Jack's absence, the potential for personal gain seemed within reach. One fateful afternoon, Tom discovered a piece of information that would shift the course of events. While sifting through Jack's documents, he unearthed an old photograph of Emma Thompson at a charity gala. The back of the photo revealed a startling detail. Emma was the daughter of a once prominent businessman who had suffered a dramatic fall from grace. Well, Tom murmured with a malevolent grin. It seems our dear Jack isn't the only one with secrets. Returning to the city, Tom resolved to visit Emma's family. Robert Thompson, Emma's father, now lived modestly on the city's outskirts. When Tom arrived at his door, Robert greeted him with suspicion. Mr. Thompson, Tom began with a calculated smile. I have information that might interest you about your daughter, Emma. Robert's curiosity overcame his caution, and he invited Tom inside. Tom proceeded to recount Emma's new life in Oak Ridge and her relationship with Jake, deliberately omitting Jake's true identity. Your daughter seems to have found happiness, Tom said, his tone hinting at hidden concerns. But I worry she's being deceived. This Jake isn't who he claims to be. Robert's protective instincts flared. What do you mean? Who is he? Tom's internal satisfaction grew as he saw Robert's concern. That, Mr. Thompson, is something we should uncover together. For Emma's sake, of course. While Tom was sowing seeds of doubt in Robert's mind, Jake and Emma enjoyed a peaceful picnic by the lake. The crystal-clear water mirrored the blue sky, and the gentle breeze carried the aroma of pine trees. Emma laughed as Jake struggled with an improvised fishing rod. Are you sure you know what you're doing? She asked with a chuckle. Jake, feigning confidence, replied, Of course, I'm an expert in, urban fishing. Urban fishing? Emma teased. Is that what you did before coming to Oak Ridge? Her innocent question made Jake tense. Something like that, he muttered, avoiding her gaze. Emma sensed his unease and decided to address it directly. Jake, I feel like you're hiding something from me. I know you said your past is complicated, but I want you to know you can trust me. Jake placed the fishing rod aside and took Emma's hands in his. Emma, there are so many things I want to tell you, but but I'm afraid. Afraid that knowing the truth will change everything between us. Nothing could change how I feel about you, Emma said firmly. I love you for who you are, not for your past or what you have or don't have. Her words deeply touched Jake. Just as he was about to confess, his phone rang with a message from old Bill. Emergency at the shop. Need your help urgently. Jake's heart sank. Torn between his desire to be honest with Emma and his responsibility at work, he said, I'm sorry, Emma. I have to go. Bill needs me at the shop. Emma, though disappointed, nodded in understanding. Go. We'll talk later. As Jake rushed back to town, he felt an overwhelming sense of impending loss. The lie that began as a quest for true love now threatened to unravel the only genuine connection he had ever known. In the city, Tom and Robert Thompson were plotting their next move. We need evidence, Robert insisted, his voice laden with concern. I can't just accuse this man without concrete proof. Tom's eyes gleamed with a new plan. Don't worry, Mr. Thompson. I have an idea that will give us all the answers we need. As night fell over Oak Ridge, the lives of 3 individuals hung in a delicate balance. Jake wrestled with his love for Emma and the burden of his deception. Emma struggled between her trust in Jake and the growing suspicion that he was hiding something significant. Tom, driven by greed and jealousy, prepared to unleash a storm that threatened to destroy everything. The following days were fraught with tension. Jake threw himself into his work at the shop, desperately trying to silence the nagging voice urging him to come clean to Emma. Emma focused on her teaching but could not shake the feeling that a significant change was on the horizon. Meanwhile, Tom set his plan in motion. He hired a private investigator named Frank to shadow Jake and gather detailed information about his life in Oak Ridge. I want to know everything, Tom instructed. His routines, his contacts, especially his relationship with Emma Thompson. Frank, posing as a tourist, began his covert investigation, taking discreet photographs and inquiring casually among the locals about the new mechanic in town. The atmosphere in the room was thick with tension as Robert Thompson and Tom Sanders stormed in, their presence adding to the already charged moment. Emma's heart raced as she saw her father's worried expression and Tom's smirk, knowing that this confrontation was about to reach its peak. Robert's eyes darted between Emma and Jake, his concern palpable. Emma, are you all right? I came as soon as I could. I've heard terrible things about this man. Emma, still processing Jake's revelation, felt a surge of conflicting emotions. She turned to her father, her voice wavering but determined. Dad, this isn't what it looks like. I need to hear Jake's side before jumping to conclusions. Robert, clearly not pleased with Emma's response, shot a sharp glance at Jake. You've been lying to my daughter about who you are. Why should we believe anything you say now? Jake, standing amid the chaos, knew this was the moment of truth. He took a deep breath, trying to regain some semblance of composure. Robert, I understand your anger. I know I've made mistakes, but my feelings for Emma are genuine. I'm Jack Morrison, yes, but I fell in love with Emma for who she is, not for her father's wealth or anything else. Tom, relishing the turmoil he had caused, chimed in with a feigned concern. I told you, Robert, this man is not who he claims to be. You need to protect Emma from him. Emma, caught between the man she loved and the people she trusted, felt her resolve harden. Tom, why are you involved in this? What's your stake in all of this? Tom's smile widened, revealing a glint of his true intentions. Let's just say I have a vested interest in uncovering the truth. Emma's eyes narrowed with suspicion. And what truth is that? Tom hesitated for a moment, his facade of concern slipping slightly. That Jack, is hiding a lot more than he's letting on. It's not just about his past. It's about his true intentions. Jake, his heart aching with every word, turned to Emma. Emma, I wanted to tell you the truth from the beginning, but I was afraid. I've been hurt in the past, and I didn't want to risk losing you before you got to know the real me. Emma's voice trembled as she spoke, her eyes brimming with tears. And what about everything you've hidden? Your money, your identity. How do I know it's not just another game to you? Jake stepped closer, his hands outstretched in a gesture of sincerity. "I'm not asking for your forgiveness, Emma. I'm asking for a chance to prove that my feelings for you are real. Everything I've done out of fear and a desire to find something real. Please, give me a chance to make things right." Emma, struggling to reconcile the man she had come to love with the deception he had perpetuated, took a step back. "I need time to process this. I need to understand if what we have is real or just a lie." The confrontation had left both Emma and Jake emotionally drained. Robert, sensing the weight of the situation, stepped forward with a determined expression. "Emma, I came here to protect you. If you need time, take it. But remember, I'm here for you no matter what." Tom, seeing that his plan had set off the chain of events he hoped for, decided to take his leave, a smirk still lingering on his face. "I'll let you all sort this out. But remember, the truth always comes out in the end." As Tom left, the room fell silent. Emma and Jake were left alone with their thoughts and emotions, the future of their relationship hanging in the balance. Emma needed space to think, and Jake needed to confront the consequences of his actions. The quiet that followed was a stark contrast to the storm of emotions that had just erupted. Emma sat down, her mind racing as she tried to make sense of the situation. Jake stood across from her, his heart heavy with regret and hope. Outside, the world continued as if nothing had changed. But for Emma and Jake, everything had shifted. They were on the brink of either healing or irreparable damage, depending on how they would navigate the aftermath of the truth and deception that had come to light. The path ahead was uncertain, but one thing was clear: their lives would never be the same. Emma, still reeling from the shocking revelations, barely managed to ask, "Dad, what are you doing here?" Tom stepped forward, his grin unmistakably triumphant. "We came to save you, Emma, and to reveal the truth about this imposter." Jake, catching on to Tom's manipulative tactics, felt a wave of realization. "Tom, what have you done?" If you're still tuned into this video and find the story inspiring, drop a 2 in the comments to let me know you're still with me. Tom's response was laced with a chilling calmness. "What I had to do, dear friend," he said, his smile never faltering. "Or would you prefer I kept your dirty secret while you deceived this poor woman, Robert?" Robert, seething with anger, turned his focus sharply onto Jake. "How dare you play with my daughter like this? Do you think that because you're rich you can toy with people's feelings? This isn't a game." Jake attempted to explain his side of the story, but Emma's voice cut through the noise, firm and resolute. "Enough, all of you. Dad and Tom, I appreciate your concern, but this is between Jake and me. I need you to leave." Robert's face was a mixture of surprise and hurt. "But Emma, please." "Dad," Emma insisted, her voice carrying an unmistakable edge of finality, "I need to handle this on my own." With visible reluctance, Robert agreed. Tom, however, wasn't ready to back down. He pulled out an envelope from his jacket with an air of dramatic flair. "Emma, you need to know the whole truth," he declared. "I have proof that he not only lied about his identity, but has been manipulating his company's stocks in your absence." Jake's face went ashen. "What are you talking about, Tom?" Tom's malicious smile widened. "Oh, didn't you know? While you've been pretending to be a struggling mechanic, your stocks have been plummeting. Coincidentally, I've been buying them up at bargain prices." The revelation hit like a sledgehammer. Jake staggered back, his mind reeling from Tom's betrayal. Emma, seeing the genuine shock in Jake's eyes, decided it was time to take control of the situation. "Tom, I think it's better if you leave. And you too, Dad. I need to talk to Jake alone." Both men exited reluctantly, leaving Emma and Jake alone in a charged silence. Emma, her voice trembling yet determined, said, "I need you to tell me the whole truth, Jake. No more lies, no more secrets." Jake nodded, feeling the crushing weight of his deceptions. For the next few hours, he poured out his heart to Emma. He revealed his life as a billionaire, the loneliness that drove him to Oak Ridge, and how his feelings for her had grown unexpectedly genuine. "I understand if you can't forgive me," he concluded, his voice breaking with emotion. But know that every moment we shared, every laugh, every conversation, was real. I love you, Emma. That's the only truth amidst this chaos. Emma's eyes, filled with a mixture of pain and confusion, locked onto his. I need time, Jake. Time to process all this, to discern what's real and what's not. Jake, though devastated, respected her need for space. As she left, he felt a profound loneliness engulf him. The days that followed were a tumultuous blend of emotions and gossip. News of Jake's true identity spread quickly through Oak Ridge, creating a rift in the town. Some saw him as a deceitful fraud, while others, like Old Bill, stood by him. Old Bill, with a determined stance at the local barber shop, defended Jake with fervor. The boy worked hard and honestly, he proclaimed. I don't care if he's got millions or just a few cents. He's a good man. Despite the division, Jake found some solace in the support of those who recognized his genuine character. He continued to wait for Emma, hoping that time would allow her to see beyond the deception and find a way to rebuild what they once had. The future remained uncertain, with the storm of revelations having left its mark on both their lives. Emma was torn between the lingering pain of betrayal and a burgeoning sense of admiration for Jake. Determined to understand the man she had fallen for, she ventured into the city, seeking to unravel the truth about Jack Morrison. With her father's reluctant help, Emma delved into Jack's life, uncovering a series of unexpected revelations. Anonymous donations to orphanages, scholarships for disadvantaged students, and investments in sustainable energy. The true Jack Morrison was far removed from the arrogant billionaire she had initially imagined. Back in Oak Ridge, Jake faced the fallout from Tom's accusations. The manipulation of his company's stocks had left him in a precarious position, fighting to regain control of his financial empire while working remotely. Amidst the chaos, Jake had a profound realization. Material wealth and power meant nothing without Emma by his side. Determined to make amends, he resolved to do what was right, no matter the cost. Jake organized a press conference in the city to come clean about his social experiment in Oak Ridge. He admitted his mistakes, apologized for his deception, and announced a major philanthropic effort. A significant portion of his fortune would be allocated to a development fund for small communities like Oak Ridge. I've learned that true wealth isn't measured in dollars, he proclaimed before the cameras, but in the connections we make, in the authenticity of our relationships, and the positive impact we can have on others' lives. Emma, watching the press conference unfold from her modest apartment in Oak Ridge, felt a surge of pride and renewed love for Jake. Despite the lies and deception, she realized that the man she had come to care for was genuine. Tom, witnessing Jake's redemption and the public's sympathetic response, saw his plans disintegrate. The company's stock value began to recover, and Tom's hope of seizing control slipped further from his grasp. In a desperate final maneuver, Tom decided to use Emma's past against her. He gathered information about how she had rejected her father's luxurious lifestyle, intending to destroy Jake's happiness by tainting Emma's reputation. That evening, as the sky over Oak Ridge glowed with golden and pink hues, Emma wrestled with the decision of whether to forgive Jake. Her thoughts were abruptly interrupted by an unexpected call from Lily, the young student whose family was struggling financially. Lily's voice trembled with distress as she explained that her father had been in a serious accident at work and was in desperate need of surgery. The local hospital, lacking the necessary equipment, needed to transfer him to the city urgently. Without hesitation, Emma rushed to the small-town hospital, only to find a scene of chaos. The doctor explained that transferring Lily's father was imperative, but that they lacked the means to do so safely. At that moment, Emma knew she had to act quickly. She dialed Jake's number, her heart pounding with hope and desperation. Jake answered immediately. Emma? His voice was filled with concern as she relayed the dire situation. Without a second thought, Jake took action. I'm on my way. I'll have a medical helicopter in Oak Ridge within the hour. The promise of urgent help brought a glimmer of hope amidst the turmoil. As Jake coordinated the logistics for the medical evacuation, Emma felt a sense of relief. Jake's swift response was a testament to his commitment to doing what was right, reinforcing her belief in his genuine character. As the helicopter touched down in Oak Ridge and Lily's father was safely transported to the city for surgery, Emma's feelings of conflicted love began to shift. The sight of Jake's dedication and the impact of his actions on the town and its people solidified her understanding of who he truly was. Meanwhile, Tom's plan to destroy Jake's happiness fell apart. With Emma's reputation intact and Jake's genuine efforts to make amends evident, Tom's manipulation and deceit crumbled, leaving him facing the consequences of his scheming. As the days passed, Emma and Jake began to rebuild their relationship, navigating the complexities of their shared past and the hope for a future rooted in honesty and mutual respect. The storm that had swept through Oak Ridge ultimately led to a deeper understanding and a reaffirmation of the values they both held dear. The town, once divided, began to heal, united by the strength of its people and the lessons learned from the tumultuous events that had tested them all. "Tom," Jake said, his voice steady but kind, "we can't undo what's happened, but we can choose how we move forward. Forgiveness isn't about forgetting. It's about learning and growing from our mistakes. I hope you find a way to make things right, not just with us, but with yourself." Tom nodded slowly, the weight of Jake's words sinking in. "I understand. I'll try to make amends, to find a better path." The atmosphere in the waiting room softened as Tom's acknowledgement of his faults became clear. Emma and Jake, their bond stronger than ever, took comfort in the healing that had begun. Not just for Lily's family, but for themselves and those around them. Robert, having witnessed the entire sequence of events, felt a deep sense of respect for the couple who had risen above the chaos. "I've been blind," he admitted, "but today has opened my eyes. Emma, Jake, I see now the true worth of what you have together." Emma squeezed Jake's hand, feeling a sense of unity and strength. "Thank you, Dad. Your support means the world to me." As they prepared to leave the hospital, a renewed sense of hope enveloped them. Lily's father, now recovering, was surrounded by the care of his loved ones, and the town of Oak Ridge had witnessed an extraordinary display of compassion and resilience. In the days that followed, the narrative of Jake's genuine efforts to help others continued to overshadow Tom's scheming. Jake's commitment to his philanthropic goals, combined with his and Emma's public acts of kindness, restored their image and strengthened their relationship. Tom, faced with the reality of his actions, began a journey of self-reflection and reform. He reached out to various charitable organizations, determined to contribute positively and find redemption. While the road to forgiveness was long, Tom's sincere efforts to change were a step towards healing. As for Emma and Jake, they found solace in their renewed connection and the positive impact they could have on the world around them. Their love, tested and tempered by adversity, grew stronger, guiding them forward with a shared sense of purpose. The town of Oak Ridge slowly returned to its peaceful rhythm, its residents inspired by the courage and integrity of Jake and Emma. The story of their struggle and triumph became a testament to the power of truth, compassion, and the enduring strength of love. Tom's eyes widened in surprise, and a moment of stunned silence followed Jake's heartfelt request. The townspeople, initially taken aback, began to murmur in disbelief. Tom's face flushed with a mixture of shock and profound gratitude. "Me?" Tom managed to stammer. "Are you sure?" Jake nodded, his gaze steady and sincere. "Yes, Tom. We all have a part in this story, and your presence here today is part of our journey. We want to celebrate not just the love Emma and I have found, but the path that brought us here." Emma, standing beside Jake, gave Tom a reassuring smile. "You've shown us that everyone deserves a chance to make things right. Today, we want to honor that." Tom's eyes welled up with emotion. He took a deep breath, then walked forward, his steps tentative but resolute. As he approached Jake and Emma, the crowd erupted into supportive applause, recognizing the significance of this gesture. The ceremony continued, with Tom by Jake's side as his best man, a symbol of reconciliation and new beginnings. Robert, who had come to see the depth of character in Jake and the strength of his daughter, proudly officiated. The vows exchanged between Jake and Emma were poignant and heartfelt, reflecting their journey from deception to truth, from individual struggles to a shared commitment. As the couple sealed their vows with a kiss, the crowd cheered, and the joy in the square was palpable. The reception that followed was a festive celebration of community, filled with music, laughter, and dancing. The entire town, from Old Bill to Lily and her family, joined in the celebration, grateful for the transformation and the new chapter in Oak Ridge's story. Tom, now a part of the celebration, reflected on the unexpected turn of events. He had initially been driven by greed and rivalry, but through the process of making amends, he had found a sense of purpose and belonging. He was embraced by the community, working diligently with the foundation to support the town's growth and well-being. As the evening drew to a close, Jake and Emma stood together, gazing out over the town square. The starry sky above seemed to mirror the twinkling lights strung around the fountain, casting a warm glow over the newly transformed Oak Ridge. "You know," Emma said softly, leaning her head on Jake's shoulder, "this town has become more than a backdrop for our story. It's a testament to the power of love and second chances." Jake kissed her forehead. "Yes, it has. And it's all thanks to everyone who believed in the possibility of change and the strength of true connection." Their story, once marred by lies and deception, had evolved into a tale of redemption, love, and community spirit. Oak Ridge, under their influence, became a beacon of hope and transformation, a place where dreams were nurtured and where every person had a chance to contribute to something greater. In the end, Jake and Emma's journey was a reminder that while the road to true love may be winding and fraught with challenges, it is the honesty, forgiveness, and collective efforts of those who care that make the destination worthwhile. Their love, tested and tempered by adversity, shone brightly as a guiding light for others, proving that the greatest treasures in life are not found in material wealth, but in the richness of human connection and the power of a united community. Emma stood beside Jake, her eyes shining with pride and love. "And I was searching for a way to make a difference, to find meaning in my work and my life. What we found together in this town was far beyond anything we could have imagined." Jake took Emma's hand and continued, "Oak Ridge has become more than just a place on the map. It's a symbol of transformation, a testament to what can happen when people come together with compassion and a shared vision. We've seen dreams come true, lives change, and communities flourish." If you're still tuned into this video and find the story inspiring, drop a 3 in the comments to let me know you're still with me. The crowd, filled with faces familiar and new, listened intently as Jake and Emma spoke. The festival was a celebration of the progress made, the lives touched, and the future that was being built. Emma spoke next, her voice filled with emotion. "None of this would have been possible without the support of every single person here, without the belief in second chances, the dedication of the volunteers, and the unwavering spirit of the Oak Ridge community. Our journey was not just about finding each other, but about finding our place in the world and making it a better place." The crowd erupted in applause, their cheers mingling with the sounds of live music and laughter. The festival was a vibrant tapestry of joy and gratitude, with booths showcasing local crafts, performances by local musicians, and a display of the many projects funded by the New Dawn Foundation. As Jake and Emma mingled with the guests, they encountered many familiar faces. Old Bill, who was regaling a group of children with one of his beloved stories. Lily, now a bright and ambitious young girl, eagerly sharing her dreams of becoming a teacher, and Tom, who was engaging in animated conversations about the future of corporate philanthropy. Robert, standing with Emma's children in his arms, smiled at the scene. He had found a renewed sense of purpose in helping young entrepreneurs and supporting his daughter's work. The sight of Oak Ridge thriving and the impact of the foundation's work brought him immense satisfaction. As the night wore on, Jake and Emma stood at the edge of the town square, looking out at the celebration. The town's transformation had exceeded their wildest dreams, and the love and unity that now defined Oak Ridge were more profound than they had ever imagined. Jake turned to Emma, his expression filled with gratitude. "It's incredible to think that all of this started with a chance meeting and a leap of faith." Emma nodded, her eyes reflecting the twinkling lights of the lanterns floating above them. "It's a reminder that even the smallest actions, driven by love and purpose, can lead to the most remarkable outcomes." Jake smiled, pulling Emma close. "Here's to the journey that brought us here, to the people who made it possible, and to the future we'll continue to build together. As they kissed under the starlit sky, the lanterns continued to drift upwards, carrying with them the hopes and dreams of a community that had come together to create something truly extraordinary. The night was filled with celebration, love, and a shared commitment to making the world a better place, one small act of kindness at a time. Emma added, her eyes twinkling with affection, "We've found a balance between our values and our work. We're fortunate to have created something meaningful here, and our wealth has been a tool to amplify our impact, not to overshadow our lives." William seemed to ponder this for a moment before asking, "So, you think we can make a difference in the world, no matter where we start?" Emma leaned in, her voice gentle and encouraging. "Absolutely. You don't need to start with wealth or fame. What you need is a heart full of compassion, a willingness to learn, and a desire to help others." Jake nodded in agreement. "You both have those qualities in abundance. Remember, it's not about where you begin but the choices you make along the way. Your mom and I have always believed that small acts of kindness can lead to big changes." Lily and William exchanged glances, their faces reflecting both their parents' wisdom and their aspirations. They finished their breakfast with a newfound sense of purpose, inspired by the values that had shaped their parents' lives and their community. As the day progressed, the family went about their routines. Jake and Emma visited the New Dawn Foundation, where they checked in on various projects and programs, always with a focus on maintaining the personal touch that had defined their approach. The foundation's work was as vibrant as ever, with new initiatives and community partnerships continuously emerging. In the afternoon, Jake and Emma attended a local festival organized by the foundation to celebrate the achievements of the community. The festival featured performances by local artists, booths showcasing the talents of local artisans, and activities for children. The atmosphere was festive and joyous, a testament to the thriving spirit of Oak Ridge. During the festival, Emma was approached by a young woman who had recently benefited from one of the foundation's scholarships. With tears of gratitude, she shared how the scholarship had enabled her to pursue her dream of becoming a nurse. Emma listened with genuine interest and pride, knowing that this was the very reason they had dedicated their lives to the foundation. Later in the day, as the festival began to wind down, Jake and Emma took a moment to reflect on the journey they had shared. Standing together on the edge of the town square, they looked out at the vibrant community they had helped build. Jake turned to Emma, his voice filled with appreciation. "Do you remember the day we first met? Who would have thought that it would lead to all of this?" Emma smiled, leaning her head on Jake's shoulder. "It's been an incredible journey. I'm grateful every day for the life we've built together and for the chance to make a difference." As the sun set over Oak Ridge, casting a golden glow over the town, Jake and Emma knew that their story was far from over. The legacy they had created was a living, breathing testament to the power of love, community, and transformation. Their story would continue to inspire and guide future generations, reminding everyone that the true measure of a life well lived lies not in the accumulation of wealth, but in the positive impact one leaves on the world and the hearts touched along the way. Emma spoke with passion and clarity, detailing how their journey had evolved from a personal quest for meaning to a transformative movement. She highlighted the roles of the community, the challenges they faced, and the innovative solutions they had implemented. As Jake and Emma concluded their presentation, the audience erupted in applause. The room was filled with a sense of admiration and inspiration, reflecting the profound impact their story had on everyone present. After the presentation, Jake and Emma were approached by several influential figures, eager to learn more about their model and explore potential collaborations. The recognition and interest were overwhelming, but the couple remained grounded, focusing on the core values that had guided their journey. The conference ended with the announcement of the Global Social Innovation Award winners. Jake and Emma were honored to receive the award, a testament to their dedication and the transformative power of their work. As they accepted the accolade, they shared the moment with Tom, Old Bill, and Robert, who had all played pivotal roles in their success. Returning to Oak Ridge, the award served as both a symbol of their achievements and a catalyst for further growth. The increased visibility led to new opportunities for partnerships and funding, allowing the New Dawn Foundation to expand its reach and impact. The celebration in Oak Ridge was unforgettable. The town square, now a vibrant hub of activity, was filled with joyous festivities. The community came together to honor their collective success and look forward to the future with renewed hope. As the years went by, Oak Ridge continued to thrive. The New Dawn Foundation's programs grew, impacting communities across the country and beyond. Jake and Emma remained deeply involved, driven by their commitment to making a positive difference. Their children, William and Lily, grew up surrounded by the values of compassion and community service. They actively participated in the Foundation's initiatives and developed their passions for social change. The legacy of Jake and Emma's journey became a beacon of hope and a model for others. Their story was shared in books, documentaries, and speeches, inspiring countless individuals and communities to pursue their paths of transformation. Jake and Emma's love story, which had begun with a lie and evolved into a tale of redemption and impact, continued to resonate as a reminder of the power of authenticity, compassion, and dedication. Their lives, intertwined with the fabric of Oak Ridge, remained a testament to the belief that true wealth is found in the connections we make, the lives we touch, and the love we share. If you're still tuned into this video and find the story inspiring, drop a 4 in the comments to let me know you're still with me. Under the starlit sky, Jake and Emma sat together, reflecting on the journey that had brought them to this point. The soft murmur of the celebration in the background felt like a distant echo as they embraced the serene moment. Emma leaned her head on Jake's shoulder. "Do you remember that first day? How everything seemed so uncertain?" Jake nodded, a gentle smile spreading across his face. "I remember feeling like a stranger in a place I knew nothing about. But now it feels like home. Our home." Emma took a deep breath, savoring the cool night air. "It's incredible how much has changed. And yet, in many ways, it feels like it all started with a simple act of kindness." Jake turned to her, his eyes filled with love and gratitude. "It's true. The kindness we found here, the love we received, it all came full circle. It's what made everything possible." They sat in comfortable silence for a while, simply enjoying each other's presence and the profound sense of peace that enveloped them. The fountain, once a symbol of new beginnings, now seemed to shimmer with the fulfillment of their dreams. "Jake," Emma finally said, her voice soft, "I know we've been through so much, and there will be more challenges ahead, but I believe we can face anything together." Jake took her hand, squeezing it gently. "With you by my side, Emma, I know we can overcome any obstacle. We've built something beautiful here, not just for ourselves but for everyone around us." As they gazed out at the twinkling lights and the vibrant community they had helped create, they felt a deep sense of contentment. The path they had traveled, filled with twists and turns, had led them to a place of profound joy and purpose. The celebration continued into the night, with laughter and music echoing through the streets of Oak Ridge. The town that had once been forgotten was now a thriving testament to the power of love, authenticity, and community. Jake and Emma stood together, watching the festivities, knowing that their story would inspire others for years to come. Their journey, which had begun with a quest for love, had evolved into a legacy of hope and transformation. In the heart of Oak Ridge, surrounded by the people who had become their family, Jake and Emma understood that their greatest achievement was not the award or the recognition, but the profound impact they had made on the lives of others. And so, under the starry sky of Oak Ridge, they embraced the future with open hearts, ready to continue their journey of love and service, knowing that the true treasure lay in the connections they had made and the lives they had touched. As they sat together, the night sky above them seemed to embrace the warmth and light that radiated from their hearts. Jake and Emma knew that their journey had led them to a profound understanding of what truly mattered. Emma gently traced her fingers over Jake's hand. "Every step we took, every challenge we faced, it all led us to this moment. And it's more beautiful than we could have ever imagined." Jake's eyes softened as he looked at the lively scene before them. "It's true. We came here searching for something, and what we found was a purpose that goes far beyond ourselves." Their eyes met, and in that shared glance, They saw not just their dreams fulfilled, but the dreams of countless others who had been touched by their efforts. The laughter of their children, the camaraderie of their friends, and the joy of their community all blended into a tapestry of shared success and fulfillment. Emma turned her gaze back to the square. It's amazing to think that all of this started with a simple act of kindness, a gesture that grew into something so much more. Jake squeezed her hand. Yes, and it's a reminder that even the smallest actions can have a ripple effect. Our story is just one example of how love and compassion can create lasting change. As they continued to watch the celebration unfold, they felt a deep sense of gratitude. The award, while significant, was merely a symbol of the greater achievements they had made together. The true reward lay in the countless lives improved, the communities uplifted, and the love shared along the way. Jake looked up at the stars, feeling a profound connection to the universe. We've built something extraordinary here, Emma, and it's only the beginning. Emma rested her head against his shoulder, her heart full. Yes, it is. Our legacy will live on in every act of kindness, in every community that thrives, and in every heart that finds hope through our work. They held each other close, knowing that their journey was far from over. The love and dedication they had poured into their work would continue to inspire and uplift, creating a brighter future for all. In the heart of Oak Ridge, surrounded by the people who had become their family, Jake and Emma understood that their greatest achievement was not the accolades or the awards, but the profound impact they had made on the world around them. Their story would be a beacon of hope and a testament to the enduring power of love and compassion. As the night wore on and the celebration continued, Jake and Emma embraced the promise of the future with open hearts. They knew that their legacy would live on, not just in the changes they had made, but in the love that had always been at the center of their journey. A love that would continue to transform lives and inspire others for generations to come. As we wrap up this incredible journey through Jake and Emma's transformative story, I invite you to take a moment to reflect on the powerful lessons we've explored together. From a search for true love to creating a lasting legacy of compassion and community, their journey reminds us of the profound impact that authentic love and dedicated action can have on the world. So, what have you learned from this story? How has it inspired you to make a positive change in your own life? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Comment below with one lesson you've taken from Jake and Emma's journey and how you plan to bring it into practice in your own life. If you enjoyed this video and found it inspiring, please leave your comment below and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Your support helps us continue to create content that uplifts and motivates us. Thank you for being a part of our community, and we look forward to bringing you more inspiring stories and valuable insights in the future.